Hey guys, I'm back with the weekend sales. Linda is not here with me. Usually she would be, my beautiful wife, but she's not feeling well, so it'll just be me today. I have a whole weekend worth of stuff to show you that's sold in our online reselling store. If you're new, we buy stuff at garage sales, thrift stores, estate sales, try to buy items low, sell them online for a profit on platforms like eBay, sometimes Merkari and other places too, but mostly eBay. So again, most of these items are stuff that we pick up at garage sales, places you could go out and find it. Once you learn a little bit about this stuff, you might be able to go out there and do this on your own. So we're going to get into today's numbers. These are going to be sales from Friday through Sunday. We're trying to get $400 a day. That includes shipping and everything, just $400 in total per day. And that'll be $1,200 for the whole weekend because we don't ship on Friday. We ship everything from Friday through Sunday. We ship all of that on Monday. So for this weekend, last weekend, we had a rough weekend. I think it was $600 or $800 or something like that, or maybe that was 2 weekends ago. We've had a couple of rough ones, but this weekend we finally got back on track. We had 34 sales across 3 of our platforms for a total of $1,201. So just barely made gold, but we'll take it. Friday was kind of slower, and Sunday really picked up and was great. So let's jump into it. First off, on Poshmark, we have this little fish trivet plate. You can't really see it, but let me open it up for you guys. Usually Linda would show her phone here, but I don't have the luxury of that. Here it is, this little trivet plate. It says Palomar, Mexico on there. So just kind of some Mexican pottery. It looks pretty cool. I don't even know where I got this from, honestly. But this one sold on Poshmark for $23 shipped. So plus shipping, sorry. I've probably had a couple bucks in it, if anything. Sometimes I'll take chances on stuff like that. And then I also we sold a Sharks jersey from our jersey buy from Salvation Army. If you can follow us along, I spent like $156 or something on jerseys from Salvation Army auctions, and we've already sold a few $100s worth of stuff. We still have more to go. This Sharks jersey sold on Merkari for $27 plus shipping. We added that $32 free shipping on eBay, $32 plus shipping on Merkari. Someone offered $27. They wanted the free shipping. Linda accepted the offer, and it's a youth small, so kids jersey still sold very well. That's all that's on the other platforms. Now we're going to jump into eBay. I do have to look the eBay ones up. There are 32 of them, so I do not remember them all. So I'll be looking down here. So I apologize for looking away. We have a Kodak EasyShare camera. Comes with a charge. This one is actually for parts, though. It doesn't work exactly right. It sold for $24 shipped. I will say digital cameras, guys, especially like the 20 megapixel ones, they're selling really well right now. They've been selling well for about a year and a half now, I think. But keep an eye out for them. Even the lower small 2 megapixel, 4 megapixel, whatever, 8 megapixel, they still sell as well. But if you can get them cheap. You have to test them. Some of them need chargers and stuff, but there can be a lot of money in there. We sold one the other day for like 110 or something, a Canon one. We also sold a video game. This is Spider-Man 3. I actually paid $2 for this. I thought it was more valuable, but it wasn't. It only sold for like 10. But with all the other games I bought, there was some really rare games in there. So we'll kind of make a little bit on that one, but not much. We sold something Linda wanted to get into, chair dancing. No, I'm just kidding. These are some chair dancing DVDs right here. There's like 2 of them, 3 of them are all sealed, actually. I thought one was open, but they're from the library. I think they were $1 a piece, and the 3 of them sold for $22.49. Our local library has a like a used book and DVD store. They sell stuff. They get donations. They'll go through and they'll sell stuff there really cheap. So we support them a lot, and we usually try to buy whatever we can to make some money and also keep the library store going. Here's a little Canon filter. Got this for a couple bucks at a garage sale. It is a crankcase vent filter. It is sealed, but there's like a little crack in the seal. But this one sold for $28 shipped, so that one was pretty good. Canon stuff I've done pretty well on. Those of us who have been here a while know that we're selling a bunch of car parts, not that particular one, but a bunch of these little ones in packets. I spent 35 bucks on this box of them. Had a bunch of Toyota, Honda, some Subaru and Lexus, a couple different ones, but mostly Toyota parts and Honda parts. Some Kia stuff in there as well, a couple of Jaguar. But these little parts have been selling so well. There's a lot of like little caps, clips, screws, different kinds of washers, just different kinds of stuff, I guess, for different parts of the car. And this one sold for $8.36. It was not the best one, but we've sold some as high as 60 or 70 bucks. So definitely been a good buy there. I bought a Super Nintendo at a garage sale from a storage unit buyer. He insisted it worked. He said he tested it. Well, it does not work. I tested it with multiple different AV outputs. There's some kind of an issue with it. I cleaned it up. I've worked with these before. There's just something wrong with this one. I think it's with the AV port. It just doesn't seem to be sending any kind of a signal. I did kind of like jiggle around in there and try to open it up, clean it to make sure the contacts, it's still not working. I spent 50 bucks on the unit. It does also look like someone kind of dropped it right here because it's misaligned, or someone, you know, didn't put it back together because it was like that before, but it won't go back into place now. So 50 bucks on this, but it came with a couple of games and some controllers and all the power cords. Took a chance on it, guys. Sometimes when you sell these systems, if you know that they sell well for parts, you can take a chance on it. I spent 50. This sold just for parts for like 42. So we'll make some of our money back right there. Plus I have the games to sell. I got Mario, Super Mario World, Super Mario Kart, and Donkey Kong, all which sell very well. Plus I have the power cord and the cables and stuff. So we'll still make money on it. Not as much as we would have if it worked, but it was worth taking a chance on, because if it would have worked, it would have been great. Little CD here, Something Special. This definitely was by Yolanda, the CD Innocent, I guess. I don't know, maybe that's her last name. This is from one of our CD buys. This sold for $36 shipped. One of those kind of rare CDs that has a lot of value used. I love selling media for a couple reasons. Easy to store, pretty easy to look up, honestly, and easy to ship. So, and if you can find the right stuff and you learn what to look for, you can make good money. Also sold this Annabelle Velasquez, Su Conjunto, Calientito y Sabrosito. My Spanish is not very good. I cannot roll my R's. But anyways, this sold for $28 shipped. It came from our vinyl buyer. We had a bunch of vinyl for 30 bucks at a garage sale. And the best part about the vinyl was someone came through and they said they pulled a bunch of the rock and roll ones that were in there. They did leave me a couple, but they said the rest weren't worth anything, so they told the guy. And I show up and I'm like, how much for all of it? He goes, 30 bucks. And I knew there was a lot of Spanish and Latin music in there. Sometimes those ones are harder to find. Ones you don't see them as much on eBay, there's less competition. So I took a chance and it's paid off very well. Speaking of Super Nintendo, I don't think I brought it over here. I forgot to grab Super Mario World. That came with the Super Nintendo that sold for $20 shipped. So that was one thing already that sold. I just forgot to grab it, and I'm not going to grab it right now. But trust me, Super Mario World, Super Nintendo, look it up. We sold some McDonald's. I don't recommend buying these. These are the McDonald's smoky glass. Like, it's got like Grimace, and I'll show you what they look like. But it's a set of 4. Oh, Grimace is the one I pulled out. Huh. So I think it's got the Hamburglar. I'm assuming we're all at McDonald's there too. But I got a set of those. They sold for $28 shipped. I mean, here's what they look like in the bag. Probably going to cost $14 to ship them. I think I spent like $5 and I got 2 sets of them, maybe 3 sets. So we'll make some money, but it was more of just I have a source that I buy from. And if you ever had a source that you buy from, let me know in the comments if you have. Where sometimes you just buy stuff because you want them to keep coming back to you with more stuff. Because this guy has made us so much money, such good deals, and we've paid him and we've tried to be fair to him. Even when sometimes he's offering something for so cheap, I'll offer him a little bit more. But it's just been a really consistent source. So sometimes he comes with stuff and it's not that great, or it's just not really as worth it, or I wouldn't spend my money on it. But it's better for me to buy something from him and keep it going so he doesn't find someone else to fill my spot. So that's one of those things. And we're going to make money, and it's a little bit of work, but the payoff of future buys is worth it. Here's kind of a weird one. It's a vintage little shirt here. It's like a really thin, it's like a 80s, I'm thinking, shirt. Basically what I think they did was they stole a logo. I don't know if it's from Harley or what, but it's like a motorcycle shot basically from the 80s. Really thin shirt, it's thrash. But I found the motorcycle, this picture, online somewhere. So I don't know if, and it didn't seem like it belonged to the shop that's on here, but either way, I don't know if the copyright was as good back then, but this is a vintage little shop shirt. It came with a bunch of Harley shirts we've been selling, paid $1 for each of them. This one sold for $23 shipped. I would call it thrash, which I've been putting in my titles because it's got holes. It's, you know, got stains. It's definitely not the best shape. A Nissan fender clip set here. This is the trim push pull right here. This, again, from our car parts buy. That sold for $15 shipped. From our tool buy, we have these rigid long rip pipe extraction tools. Yes, everyone knows about these lovely bad boys here. Well, you probably don't because I didn't, but I looked them up and they actually sell very well. They sold for $60 ship. So definitely a good selling item there, but you probably won't find that, but maybe. One of our Apple mice or mouse, whatever, which one ever would be. This one right here. We've got a bunch of these. They are basically new, but they were sitting in someone's storage, so they're kind of dusty. So we clean them up. We do get them all nice and before we ship them out. I had like a bunch of these for 40 bucks. This one sold for $18. I only have about 5 or 6 left. I'm almost out of them. It's been a great buy. GHS Boomers, the Power Strings shirt here. This was something from one of our old shirt buys we had. Linda negotiated with someone, I think for $30 shipped on this. She went back and forth. My wife does handle pretty much all of the messaging. I used to be someone who, and I'm curious if you guys, I used to not always message people back when they asked questions about stuff. Like, it depended on what the question was. Sometimes it wasn't worth my time. My wife pretty much responds to almost everybody. She'll get extra measurements. She'll do stuff. She'll look up, you know, weird models on the thing. Even if I put a model in there and they're like, oh, there's a different little model you could look up on the back side of this. She'll pull it out, look it up, take a picture, all that kind of stuff. Does a lot of research. It's been great for me because it relieves a burden for me to have to respond to them. And it's actually generated a lot of sales. And that was kind of one of them, where she took some time with the person and they went back and forth and negotiated, and it sold an old shirt. So I'm glad that she does that. I don't want to do it. I'm curious if you guys respond to every message. Do you take extra measurements when they ask them? I always felt like every time I put the extra work in, they never bought it. Wasn't worth the time. But she has said that she doesn't care. She'll spend the time because sometimes it pays off, and she is right. Some of our Burger King toys, we have John Cena, which you can't see him, obviously. And then we have Triple H. Those little set there sold for $17 shipped. That was a great buy. All the Carl's Jr. and Jack in the Box toys. We sold a plush, which we love selling because I don't like to buy them. This is a Finding Dory Hank, the octopus. He sold for 23 shipped. He's really light, actually, for as big as he is. He's not really heavy at all. So yeah, that was a good one. I probably have a buck in him. I don't really buy plush a lot, even though I did buy 2. I buy plush backpacks, oddly enough. I do buy those, but I try not to buy too much plush because they seem to sit. I don't want it. Linda hates them. So Oprah and Deepak 21-day meditation challenge right here. This one sold for $14, $13 shipped. This was cool. I was at a thrift store and they had a bunch of these DreamWorks, what are they called? It's the art, I don't know what they call them. I guess it is just the art, but someone like art gallery or something, basically books. So you can kind of see they have these great pictures in here. But they all were, well, the ones that I found, except for 1 or 2, were signed by the people that did the artwork, I guess. And I bought 3 of them. We sold one, I think, on Merkari for like 70 plus shipping, 80. I think I spent 15 or 20 bucks a piece. This one sold for $90 shipped on eBay. The worst part about it is that when I went there to buy these, the lady said they had like 10 more of them that someone else came and bought. And that was like a super bummer for me because I'm like, maybe there was something else, you know, some other good ones. They left me these ones, which didn't have the best sold comps, like sell through. But I'm like, maybe they picked the good ones. So missed it, but we did get 3 of them. We also got Madagascar. I got Madagascar. I don't know if it was Ice Age or I got something else. And then I got Monsters vs. Aliens. And then I got that other one. So yeah, still been cool though. One of those things I never found before. Some Brooks from the same thrift store. Brooks is a good brand. Still sells well for us if I can find it for the right price. Shoes are getting harder and harder to buy at thrift stores. I'm really struggling to pay for them usually at the price they want, but these are the thing I paid 10 for. They were on a good price and they sold for $44 shipped. So that was very good. I'll do that all day. Kitchen part, this is a DeLonghi espresso little, I don't know what this is called, but this is a part that goes to it. It's got a lid. And this little piece sold for $36 shipped. It was from Savers. We bought an espresso for $20 and parted it out. We love parting out our kitchen appliances. My main source, the one I told you I buy stuff from just to buy, he had a bunch of these Reloc, R-E-L-O-C wires here. I have a whole box of them. I think there's 8 in total that I have, maybe 9. I sold them in a set of 3 for $83, and I think I paid 10 or 15 for the whole set of them. So that was a good buy. It's taken a while to sell my first set, but I'm already in the profit, which is awesome. Vivitar, again, I apologize for looking down. Telephoto converter here. Oh, it's kind of cool with the light there. Whoa. Yeah, this thing just came with the camera we had bought. It sold for $15 or $10 shipped. Not a whole lot, but just to make a few extra bucks. One of our Shark vacuum parts, the little battery cover that goes on it. This is the Shark, like the robot that goes on the ground. And this little part sold for, it's dusty because it was with the dust canister. And I guess there was still dust in there. But this sold for $11 shipped. We like to part out kitchen parts, vacuum stuff, you know, electronics, different things like that. You can part out and make some pretty good money. We sold some Acura manuals from our buy. Acura RLs, good manuals. They sell pretty well. This is the 2009. This is the 1 and 2. Oh, whoops, I grabbed the wrong one. I have volume 2 and ETM. I also have to grab the volume 1. So the ETM is not the right one, so I'll correct that, but it's over there. I just grabbed the wrong one. These sold for $65 shipped, so pretty good. Car manuals, even Haynes and other ones sell too. And I'm trying to go fast because I have to pack all this up and it's already super late. So if I'm talking fast, I apologize. But Nicktoons for GameCube. I bought a GameCube Super Monkey Ball and it had like 3 GameCube games in it. This one, Super Monkey Ball, and something else like, I don't know, it was Need for Speed or whatever. This one sold for $12 shipped. So GameCube stuff usually is pretty good. There's not as much of it out there. So usually even lesser games will sell on GameCube, like on other systems wouldn't sell. Got a Wii here. Paid $10 for this with all the cords and some controllers, and that one sold for $55 shipped, so a pretty good deal. We have a Holy Bible here. This is the Rembrandt Authorized King James Edition. This is a big boy. Got some kind of wear inside there. You know, pretty cool. There's some paper in there I should probably pull out. Curious if any of you ever found money in a Bible before. A lot of people say they have. Here's kind of what I want to show you. Kind of looks nice, but a lot of people say they found money. I never have, but this Bible sold for $43 shipped. I believe it was $8 or $9 at maybe $10 at Savers. So paid a little bit more for it than I normally would, but it did sell. It took a little while. We have a Hubley model here by Gabriel, I believe it is. Yes. Here it is, a little model kit. It is open. I don't know if it's all there. It looks like it is. It is mostly sealed, but this model set sold for $68 shipped. I believe that was my father-in-law's and he just gave it to us to sell. So just to get rid of, made a few bucks on that. We have some vintage Papercraft Christmas paper, guys. This stuff's kind of crazy. Kind of see more of what it looks like there. It's definitely used. You can tell it's got like some dust on it, but it's still cool. This sold for $39 shipped. I think I paid a couple bucks at a garage estate sale for that. We're almost done. Here's a Bionicle. This is the Sidorak Warriors. He's in here. I don't know if he's complete. He was already built. He appeared to be complete, but I put near complete just in case he's missing a piece or two. I was at a garage sale. The guy had a bunch of Legos, Star Wars ones and stuff, and he priced them all super high. But the Bionicles, he priced super cheap. Well, the Bionicles had more value than most of the Star Wars sets yet. He didn't have any super rare sets. But for $5 on this one, he was like, he's a kid. He's a little bit younger than me, probably, honestly. But he's not really a kid. But anyways, he wanted a lot more for the regular sets. These Bionicles do sell well. This one sold for $41 shipped. Again, I didn't even verify it was complete. Even if you get a bunch of loose Bionicles, you can put them together and they'll sell. But if you have complete ones, certain ones sell very, very well. And then we're on to our last item, I believe. This is a polo, Ralph Lauren little kids, little Jamaica polo, size 6, so kind of smaller. I think it is a size small, actually. And I paid $1 for that. It sold for $20 shipped. It does have a little tiny fading on it. I had 3 of those. I had another one in Jamaica, size 8, that sold around when the World Cup was going on at one point, and this one just kind of got buried away. It didn't get listed. I also sold a Great Britain one, I think, around the same time. That was an old, like, I think maybe it was England, not Great Britain, but it was England, I think is what it was. And that sold for around $20. It was a kid's one as well. So I picked those up, but this one kind of got lost somewhere, and I finally got it on my death pile and listed it, and it sold. So that was pretty cool. Just a youth polo there. Let me see if anything else has sold. Doesn't look like it there. I didn't see anything pop up. Nope, it doesn't look like it. That's all we have, guys. So we did make our goal. Again, hopefully Linda will be back this week to be in the videos and go over the stuff. It's much better, I'm sure, when she's here. But I appreciate you guys bearing with me. We got to get all this packed up and get out of here. I hope you guys are doing well. If you guys are having the success or anything you're doing to help generate sales, definitely let us know in the comments. Let other people know as well. Just because people are looking for other feedback. So if there's any ideas you guys have had or things you've done, again, reach out so we can all learn a little bit, get better, make more sales, and make a few bucks online. So hope you guys have a great day. We'll see you around. Bye-bye.